So we're nearing almost a week into the presidency, and we got a new executive order. And the executive order was a ban of refugees and mostly Muslim countries. And while it outright doesn't give you the okay to not let people in with Muslim beliefs, it does give priority to Christians, and it does also it's also extremely vague to the point where people could misconstrue it and use it to not let Muslim people back in the country, but also people with green cards that are permanent residents of the United States. So, with that said, this law is extremely dangerous. It's one of those things that you can look back and you'll be like, oh, that's how Hitler got into power. And I know that's an extreme to compare anybody to Hitler, but with the actions that have been done so far and with the actions that are said that are going to be done, this isn't really far off into something that can be very dangerous. And if we don't stop and protest the way it's been so far, and thank God for people protesting, honestly, because of protesting, a federal judge has ruled it unconstitutional, and he had this to say about it.
It was actually a stay on it. He ruled that such an act that is not coinciding with the U.S. Supreme Court's previous rulings and also held to be unconstitutional. It has not been taken to the point where it will be deemed unconstitutional because there's not a law, but executive orders do change policy within departments. So moving the policy in that direction is not something that is in directive with what is allowed in the United States.
So he ordered all permanent green card users to come back into the country, and anybody who is not a permanent resident to still be vetted. While I don't agree with the second part of that ruling, or what is it called?
Actually, that was not part. It was he issued a stay on the
executive
order initially, but then I believe he was the let's see his exact. I don't want to be as accurate as possible here. Second, the Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly, he issued somewhat of a directive also himself, in which he, applying the provisions of the presidential executive order, I hereby deem entry of lawful permanent residents to be in the interest of national interest. Also, according to that, though, he did construe that to say that anything significant derogatory information indicating a serious threat to public safety and welfare, aside from not having a lawful permanent resident status, will be dispositive of that fact on a case-to-case determination. So it is up to the discretion of the people handling it, such as ICE and the Border Patrol, to look into it, and from there on, if it doesn't involve a green card permanent resident, they can still apply extreme vetting, whatever extreme vetting might be.
This is why protesting is extremely important still, and just
it is
because
very authoritarian.
Yes, because if people don't protest, that's going to give them the okay to still highly vet people and keep them detained in order for a religion. Even though this executive order wasn't exactly shown as one sole religion, but Rudy Giuliani really did. Rudy Giuliani really did. He outed them and said how Trump actually told him, "How can I make a ban on Muslims without
breaking any legal precedent?"
So I mean, and then he retracted that statement later on, but it was too late for him to cover it up, and. So really, this was a ban on Muslims, whether you like it or not, because there's countries that are more dangerous that have killed more people in the past 9 years than all the countries combined. So Saudi Arabia being one of them, who have executed Christians, if I'm not mistaken, or
they've executed Christians, atheists, anybody that does not agree with the established order there, and also that does not agree with the Muslim statutes of those countries.
Yeah, so pretty much, if you give us oil and you give us money, we won't mess with you. And since Saudi Arabia has Donald Trump's favorite number and giving them money, he's not gonna do anything to that particular country, who actually is in a report. A lot more of the hijackers in 9/11 came from Saudi Arabia. So, Hell Hydra.
Don't forget to resist.
Yeah.